We're here at the Tribeca Film Festival where we're getting an early look at the interactive experiences, and those are things in VR and using the technology in very different ways.
When we were pushed into those wagons to take us to the east, we didn't know where we were going.
The most interesting one was The Last Goodbye, which follows a Holocaust survivor as he makes his last visit to the remains of the Majdanek concentration camp.
Pinchas Gutter is the inspiration for making The Last Goodbye. He's a Holocaust survivor. He was in Majdanek when he was 11 years old. And we wanted to utilize modern storytelling techniques to tell the story of the Holocaust.
The piece, which is 16 minutes, is constructed of 360 videos, stereo videos, at 4K, brought into Unity, and then we have room scale segments which bring the rooms of the Majdanek camp to life. And then in those room scale photogrammetry rooms, we have Pinchas Gutter, our testimony survivor, as a stereo card laid into place at different places in the rooms.
We use VR in a few different ways to help us tell this story. We took the standard 360 video approach where you just look around to kind of bookend the film, and in the middle we wanted to have a walk around experience. The reason for that is we wanted to ease people into the walk around experience, but at the same time 360 video kind of has its own quality to it where you're able to be removed from the situation and connect with the viewer in a different way than when you're walking around, and you have the ability to either walk very closely to the subject and connect with them on a deeper level, or I can walk around and I can just explore the camp. We wanted to, go outside typical documentary and allow people to go into the camp, to really feel like they were there, and to be there with a survivor and to have that connection.
I don't think you could have made this project in a green screen room offsite. It needed to be Pinchas himself on site at the camp, and so he was shot on a stereo camera, so 2 lenses, and had a pop-up green screen behind him, so just around his area. And then at the exact same moment, as he moved away and the green screen wasn't there, we took a scan of the whole environment, the light in the environment at that time, and then we brought all those things back together.
I do feel that VR has an ability to create a deeper sense of empathy with the subject matter of the film. In this scenario, Pinchas Gutter, who is a Holocaust survivor, you have the ability to truly connect with him. You're able to walk up to him and be within a couple inches of his face while he's telling you the story of his survival in the Holocaust. And no matter where you go in the film, he's always with you. He's always sharing this story with you. And you're completely immersed in this experience. Not only am I connected with him, but I'm connected with the entire space. I am really in this concentration camp, and I'm in the gas chamber.
This place, this camp, was a place of torture. I think that you have to confront pain to be able to heal it. Unless you have somebody that can say, I was here, I saw this was done to me, I don't think people would accept it as the gospel truth.
He's telling his story to us directly, and so it's important to have that eye-to-eye contact with him. And so what we're doing is we're taking our stereo card of him and we're turning it slightly to your view. So if you're stepping around in the room, we're turning him to you. We also created some CG 3D feet so that he feels rooted to the space regardless of where he's turning. And additionally, if you're in room scale, if we're in the Vive setup, which is what we're using here today, you can move anywhere. So it needs to feel good narratively and technically from wherever you are. The photogrammetry is around a few hundred pictures per room. Those are then solved into a model, and very faithfully, which is one of our main missions on the project, not to change anything. This is a moment in time in this camp. And we removed small things like museum signage and lights, but very small amount. And we were creating faithful recreations of those rooms. So that's solved into about a 600,000 polygon model. And it's very important that that runs in Unity at 90 frames a second. So that's the challenge which we've achieved here. And really the detail and the quality comes through the textures of the work. We're considering where this goes next in terms of its tour. We want to be able to release it to everyone who has a VR headset. It's working for Vive right now. We'll look at Rift, we'll look at PlayStation, we'll look at all the headsets because frankly we want to take a story like this out as far as we can. We'll also be looking at museums, educational sites, classrooms, bring it to a new generation.
I come back to Majdanek, to this camp, to convey the truth of what actually happened.
My greatest takeaway from this experience is really getting to know Pinchas Gutter. Here's a man who has suffered so greatly in his life and has very courageously accepted having to deal with his memories and his loss and come out and bear witness to what happened to him and in the Holocaust, despite how painful that is. And for a very good reason. We need to know this story. People need to hear his story. Humanity needs to educate themselves on it and I think re-educate themselves. And that's what this experience is hopefully going to do.